Hello, my name is Hiten Bhatt. I'm an author, trainer and speaker on the subjects of personal development, well-being and leadership. And in this video, I would like to speak to you about how to overcome self-sabotage. Now, I'd just like to say before we get started, I'm not a therapist or a psychologist, but I'd just like to share with you my own research and my own experience of self-sabotage. And it's a very interesting phenomenon, a very weird phenomenon, and quite common. Self-sabotage. What is self-sabotage and how do we overcome it? Well, self-sabotage is this phenomenon, perhaps coming from our subconscious, of where we undermine our efforts for happiness, for success. It could be within our careers, it could be within relationships. It shows up in many places. And the core of it is we don't actually feel worthy, or we don't feel that we deserve that happiness or that success, whether at a conscious or usually at a subconscious level. And it manifests itself in many, many different ways. How can we self-sabotage ourselves? We can self-sabotage in so many different ways. At work, we can self-sabotage. Perhaps we're making progress in our career. Perhaps we are really, our manager and our boss is very, very happy with us. We are making, climbing up the career ladder, and what do? We decide to procrastinate on an important project, or we decide to actually not do a piece of work, or to interact in a strange way with our colleagues or our manager or boss, and actually undermine all the effort that we've been making and all the success that we've been achieving, and suddenly for some reason we just destroy it all. Self-sabotage can show up as excuses that we make to ourselves. We are making progress on an important project, or we're doing something where we're getting momentum, and then suddenly we start to decide to make these strange excuses to ourselves to think, I can't go to the gym today because of so-and-so, or I can't do this and this because of this excuse or that excuse. And we make all these different excuses to ourselves just as we're gaining momentum with an important project or an important life goal. Self-sabotage can show up in our relationships with other people. Maybe you found the love of your life. Maybe you found the perfect partner, and they're too perfect. And for whatever reason, somehow you just decide to do things or act in a way that completely ruins that relationship. Now, why would you do this? Why would you self-sabotage? Why would anyone want to self-sabotage? You're making progress in your career. You are finally finding happiness in your relationships. You are making progress on important life goals. Why would you undermine your efforts? Why would you ruin all that? Why would you self-sabotage? And it's very interesting because the psychology of self-sabotage, and as I said earlier, it's often a subconscious behavior, is this idea that you don't deserve that success or that happiness. A lot of our experiences in life stem from early childhood, from our experiences as we are growing up. And we can experience different things from caregivers, from parents, that can really shape our experience as adults and as we go forwards. And they can be the root cause of some of our self-sabotaging behaviors. Perhaps you grew up in an environment in which you experienced a lot of dysfunction. And in that sense, that dysfunction, a dysfunctional family environment, dysfunctional relationships, that actually feels normal to you. In a weird way, it actually feels comfortable for you. Maybe you feel that, you're not worthy of having happiness or having success. Negative conditioning from childhood can also play a role in terms of how we react as we go through our careers. Perhaps you have negative self-talk around what you deserve, how good you are. And as soon as you start to sort of gain some momentum and gain some success, that's when that self-saboteur comes in and says, oh, look, you don't deserve this. And you'll do something to sort of destroy or undermine your efforts. So it shows up in many, many different places. We feel more at home, we feel more comfortable with dysfunction, misery, not achieving success than we do with success and happiness. It feels strange, it feels weird. And that's why we self-sabotage. So how can we overcome self-sabotage? And I'd like to give you some ideas, certainly things that have helped me overcome self-sabotage. I'm still in the process of doing so. But number one is identify your underlying beliefs. Identify your underlying beliefs. You know, there are beliefs that we have about ourselves, about what we deserve in terms of success, in terms of happiness. And once you develop the self-awareness to actually say, okay, this is actually what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, really, I don't deserve to be happy. I'm not good enough. I'm going to fail. Whatever it may be, really, really become clear about what those underlying beliefs are. And I would actually recommend, once again, my favorite thing that I always recommend is journaling, because journaling is that tool in which you really get the chance to understand yourself better, understand what is really driving your behaviors. Because when you identify what your underlying beliefs are, that self-awareness gives you the opportunity to then tackle self-sabotage. Secondly, it's very important for us to be able to embrace change, and to recognize that change is an important part of life. Change, progress, especially in a positive direction. Of course, when you start to achieve success and you have this ideal situation and you have everything that you've always wanted, and it can feel uncomfortable, it can feel overwhelming. You can actually feel like, as I said earlier, you don't deserve success and you don't deserve happiness. But to recognize that a change is positive. Change is moving you towards that sense of personal growth, and for you to just accept change as a part of the process of life and a healthy way of moving forwards. Take small steps and celebrate small wins. Don't try to do everything all at once, but just as you move forwards, just give yourself little goals, little things that you can do to really just move forwards and progress, whether it be in your career, whether it be in your life goals, whether it be in your relationships, and celebrate those small wins and achievements as you go forward. And most importantly, work on your self-worth. This is the core of it, really, is we've got to change the underlying negative beliefs, the negative self-talk that says I'm not good enough, I don't deserve to be happy, I don't deserve to be successful, and really increase our self-worth, how we feel about ourselves. And that's a gradual process. And I'll make other videos about how we can actually change our self-talk, how we can improve our self-worth, our self-esteem, our confidence. But for now, I'd just like to say that if you can recognize the positive and the good in you, despite whatever background, despite whatever challenges you've had in your past, in your childhood, whatever you've gone through in your life, and realize this, that you absolutely deserve to be happy, you absolutely deserve to be successful, and deserve the best things in life. And that's going to be a process, but working gently on your self-worth is going to be so key to overcoming self-sabotage. So in conclusion, you deserve the best. You deserve happiness, you deserve success. I hope this video will help you on your journey towards overcoming self-sabotage. And it is a journey. And as I said earlier, the starting point is that self-awareness. So I hope you got value from the video. Thank you very, very much. I'm going to be making many more videos around self-esteem, confidence, self-worth, all of these sorts of subjects. And I would really appreciate it, as I'm trying to grow this YouTube channel, for you to subscribe, like and comment. I would be very, very appreciative of that. Thank you so much.